There are a lot of people in the 18th century getting around on horseback, especially long hunters. We know that they packed in. They had to have horses to get the hides out. But there's also a lot of personas that would not be on a horse in the woods, especially if you're looking to sneak up on a camp or go from fort to fort. So there's a lot of walking in the 18th century also. So uh, today, a horse trip is special. If you can do it, good for you. But there's not too many people who can anymore. There's not too many areas that where you can have a semi-secluded place to be in the woods on horseback with other friends. It's pretty tough. So here's how I do it on foot. Mindset is extremely important to me. I want to get into their head. What are they thinking? What are they preparing for? How are they wearing their gear? For me, I'm at my base layer of what I won't take off in the woods. I have my weapons on me, my knife, my tomahawk, my pouch, my horn. I have everything I need to fight or to shoot or to engage. Everything else gets put on me in the order that I need to take it off in order to be faster. So if I'm running after an enemy or away from, I can peel things off or cut them off, hopefully return later to pick them up. But the order in which I put things on is important to me. And the first thing that I'm going to put on, which is the last thing I would take off, is my pack. Happens to be my haversack. It has all of my extra stuff, my extra gear in it. There's a video on this that I just did previous on what's in the pack. You're welcome to look at that. But I don't have anything in here that is completely essential that I don't have in my shooting pouch, which is my fire starting kit. That's why I carry two. If I want to lighten the load to run faster, this is coming off last. But next is my blanket roll. This goes over onto the left shoulder, and I'm going to feed my pouch and my horn through this strap, so that it is always accessible at all times. I'm going to turn around for you. You can see this is high and tight over my right side, over the back, but it's also angled like this, and that's the way I like that. And my haversack is over sort of my left hip, because if I'm running, I don't want this flopping around. I want it to have something sort of to keep it tight to my body. The last thing is, of course, Canteen. And we really sort of need this in a modern world. I don't believe that Simon Kenton and Michael Stoner are running around with a canteen. There's water all over that's not contaminated that they're drinking from streams, and they know how to find it. So, but this is the last thing that I put on, because this is probably what I move the most when I'm on the move, to get a drink, put that back, and I can swivel it back around. And again, it sort of goes over the back, but it's pretty handy to have when you're on a woods trip and you need to get to the next water source. Last thing, of course, is handkerchief, and then my hat, and I'm ready to roll. Okay, you can see this is across both shoulders. It's very comfortable this way. The load is distributed across the shoulder, but the problem is, if I get into a shooting situation, look at what is right here, and also if I have to raise my shoulder, this is going to get in the way. The strap could get in the way of the butt of my gun. So I don't wear it like this hardly ever, because if I'm in the woods, I want to be able to shoot when need be. Watch this come off of my shoulder, and then it's around my neck, and that's not a good thing. Okay, blanket's unrolled. I want you to see what's inside. I've got I just took this deer hunting, that's why I have a Blaine's orange cap, but I have a pair of wool gloves, hand spun knitted wool buffalo hat by Emily Burns. There's an extra shirt. If I'm going on a serious cold winter, I'll have 2 extra shirts, maybe have that second extra shirt on, layered out. This, of course, is to be seen while hunting. Extra pair of short socks. I do not have documentation in the 18th century for a short pair of socks, but they are hand knitted wool, and they're pretty handy to put on while you're wearing your leggings at night, and that's the only time that I wear them. I have an extra pair of wool leggings. Where I deer hunted, and in my woods, these would have been tore up because of the sawbriars, but they're here. Have an extra pair of garters also, and 2 extra pair of moccasins. You can see one pair really needs to be repaired. The only other thing that you see here is you see a different blanket, and I wear that like a match coat. I can also use it as a second blanket and auxiliary to my main blanket. Both of them are hand woven. This one is just a little over 100 years old. It's got a center seam down the middle. This one is a modern hand woven blanket, but that's the rig that I carry. The extra moccasins are, if I have 3 pair total. 1 pair that I'm wearing, 1 pair that's drying, and the other pair is dry. And at night, when I stop for the night, I'm going to switch out the pair that I'm wearing for the dry pair, and then hopefully the pair that's drying is dry, or I'll dry them that night over the fire. I always want a dry pair of moccasins or stockings on my feet when I go to bed at night, and that is also what I do with the extra shirt. I'll swap that out so that I don't go to bed with anything wet on me. All right, one good idea is to have your match coat, if you're carrying 2, on the outside. That way you don't have to unroll everything just to get to it should it start raining. But I'm gonna go ahead and roll this up so you can see the whole process. It's basically used like another pack. I want to keep everything what would I say, equaled out from side to side, so that when I roll it up and I tie it up with my temp line, I don't have gaps or spaces here. I get it as tight as I can. I prefer the temp line. It's very versatile. I can wear it over each shoulder, over both shoulders. I can even wear it over my head if necessary. But chances are it's just over one shoulder. It's a piece of wide, thick leather so that it doesn't dig into your shoulder. If you go on a trip and you're walking, and I recommend that you practice with your gear before you go on a trip. It's sort of like breaking shoes in. But if you go on a trip and you're walking and that leather strap, if it folds in two, then you've got all of the weight on half of the strap size. And that begins to be a pain in more ways than one. This is a couple of pieces of cordage that my daughter wove. You see the strap here. It's long enough, it's wider than the shoulders, so that when I put this on, it's not the tie on my shoulders on any which way that I wear it. So it's long enough to go around your shoulders and back down. And I also like to tie this just a little bit offset so that this isn't in line, just because of the way that I like to wear it. I like for it to kind of be cattywampus across my back. And there it is, all rolled up. Also wanted to show you, we're out on a scout. Maybe you're hiking to the camp spot and you get a little tired, and especially something as heavy as this blanket roll, bed roll, tump line, if it gets a little bit heavy. Here's what I do. Sometimes when I'm taking a break just to get a breather, I put this, lean it up against the tree, then bend down a little bit, and all that weight's off of the shoulder, and I'm comfortable leaning up against the tree. Don't have to take anything off. This is a good little break, good little rest. I want to go over one more historical option that for this video is a wallet. And I've got friends that use these, and you'll see on a video I did of the hunt here a few videos back, I did carry this one, but it had only my camera and phone equipment in there. I don't prefer this because some people call it a market wallet, but there's unless I tie it to me, it's just really floppy, and this sometimes can slide off your shoulder. But the idea is this is made sort of like a tissue box, and you put stuff in this side, you put stuff in this side this can drape over a horse, it can drape over your shoulders, you can walk around with it. This is an option that you can use too. I do have a small one that I use inside my haversack sometimes for food stuff. That way most of my food is in that little wallet. I can get it out, have it all out at once. So here's another option. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you do. Drop a comment on something you'd like to see or something that you do different. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Take care and Happy New Year. The helicopter coming.